Hello and welcome to the MSA Britpop British Cross Country Championship, coming to you from the Radnor Forest in mid-Wales. Last year's champion Ian Rochelle returned in his Millington Phoenix, but only in the Clubman event, as he won't be competing in the main championship this year. Ryan Cook retired his old but extremely competitive Land Rover Defender, replacing it with a brand new Land Rover Evoque style. With new frame and chassis, it looks to be a hot contender for the title this year. Conditions on day one were testing, with rain and mist adding to the challenge of the already tricky and unforgiving course. But for our seasoned BCCC drivers, it was situation normal. So let's get going with the 2013 British Cross Country Championship. So let's start with the Clubman event with Andrew West in the Milner R5. Andrew competing hard with last year's champion Ian Rochelle, but when Ian lost drive in his Millington Phoenix and was forced to retire, Andrew led comfortably for the rest of the weekend. Radu Kjorten is a new competitor to the British Cross Country Championship, and in his Mitsubishi Pajero, aided by co-driver Anna Maria Pervu, put in some steady times throughout. Their best time of 7 minutes coming on run 8, but some technical issues meant they had to take maximums on runs 11, 12 and 13, leaving them third in the Clubman event. The Freelander Challenge remains as competitive as ever. They posted decent times in runs 1 and 2. This is Matthew Morgan with Tim Morgan on board, but had to take maximums in runs 3, 4 and 5, and that seriously dented their chances of a top spot. But nonetheless, they soldiered on and finished in third place.
Okay, can you tell me a bit about the car you're driving this weekend?
It's a Freelander V6. It's one that raced last year. It's pretty standard, which goes with the Freelander Challenge, with all the usual equipment to make it work, but it's a V6 petrol.
A lot of the Freelanders are grounding out on this course. Have you had that trouble?
Yes. We do have that trouble, but luckily we've got a very strong plate underneath the car, which protects it from all the stones and whatever that we're driving over, so I think that saved us a few failures actually.
Have you had any problem with punches?
Yes, a lot of problems. We've had 4 or 5 punches now. We've adjusted tyre pressures and found different routes around the track, which have helped us, I think.
Does seem to be a bit of a car killer, this track, doesn't it?
It's an absolute killer. Yesterday we only got about 2 times in because we were puncture riddled, so we're struggling a bit in the overall positions at the moment.
Okay, well I hope the rest of the day goes better for you. Good luck, guys.
Okay, cheers now.
Staying with the Freelander Challenge, Andrew Woodhouse partnered by Pete Widdop. They're struggling to find their feet in the first few rounds. Played some disappointing times, but by the 5th round found his feet and began to compete for the top spot in the Freelander Challenge. Those first few rounds held them back in this particular event, and eventually they finished in 2nd place. But the Freelander Challenge winner was none other than Chris Ratter with co-driver Pat Masters. Chris has had a long and successful relationship with the BCCC and the Freelander Challenge, and he continues to do so in 2013 with an impressive display in the trickiest of conditions. It may be too early to say, but the battle between Chris and last year's champion Nick Lyons could be one of the highlights of this season.
So could you tell us a little bit about the car you're running this season?
Yeah, it's a 1.8 K Series Freelander, standard engine and gearbox. It's got modified suspension, but other than that it's a standard shopping or hairdresser's Freelander. And it's done very well for the last day. Got 3 punctures yesterday, but that was due to careless driver not spotting the sharp rocks, but it's been good fun. It's not raining this morning yet, so it's been good.
I've seen a couple of them bottom out over the course out there. Have you been having much trouble with that?
No more than usual. The Freelander's not quite got as much ground clearance as some of the cars, so you have to pick your route slightly. They've all got big sump guards which make a lot of noise, so they sound like they're grounding out quite horribly, but it's just scrubbing the sump guard. Most of the other cars are either independent or beam axle rover based ones, which have got a lot more ground clearance, so don't sound as dramatic.
Here's Mark Jakes with Simon Last co-driving, and Mark's times were consistent throughout the weekend in this Land Rover Special, but not quite good enough. He was last in the trophy event, but only 7 seconds behind Adam Bridgman.
Tell us a little bit about the car you're running today.
The car this year has been worked on over the winter because we had so many problems with the front axle breaking last year and bits and pieces, and guys sorted out the engines, so the engines were working spot on at the moment. So yeah, it's going well. Good event, good track. Weather's a bit naff, but there you go, that's racing for you. So yeah, all in all, good weekend so far.
Here's Adam Bridgman and Matthew Morgan in 115. A close fought battle between Adam and the pairing of Mark Jakes and Simon Larson just in. Their times being similar throughout the weekend, but it was Adam Bridgman who came out on top in his Dudley Bug.